Africa's largest economy and South America's biggest nation, Tinubu, who flew in from Los Angeles, touched down at the Brasilia International Airport at about 12:30 a.m. earlier today and was received at the airbase by senior Brazilian officials, including Ambassador Carlos Sergio Sabra Duarte and Secretary for Africa and the Middle East and Brazil's ambassador to Nigeria, Nigeria's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Ojukwu, alongside other ministers, top agency heads, and members of the private sector, and later joined the reception party at his hotel ahead of the day's engagement. The official welcoming with full military honors will hold at the Planalto Palace, where Tinubu will meet President Luis Inacio Lula da Silva for private talks before expanded bilateral meetings. Let's get more insight into what that business means for Nigeria, the one that happened in Japan, and what exactly Nigeria could benefit directly and indirectly from this trip. I'm being joined by Mr. Demola Oshodi, who is the Senior Special Assistant on Foreign Affairs and Protocol to President Bola Tinubu. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Cheryl.
It's been a long one for the president, from leaving Yokohama to Los Angeles and to Brazil. All of these, I assume, are for the business of governance of Nigeria, isn't it?
It is. Nigeria has never been more open for business than this time. This is an administration that has so much, I would say too much audacity and boldness, able to articulate its position on reforms. So you don't just see domestic reforms that try to reshape our Nigerian economy, but there's also a huge intention on foreign affairs. The president has been circumventing the globe, basically, to ensure that his domestic reforms are in place. And he can do that by ensuring he closes deals with President Lula da Silva of Brazil, the Japanese Development Agency, with the TIHAD conference we just concluded, and also with other international organizations, getting loans and facilities. It is a great time for Nigerian business. It's a great time for investments in Nigeria. We can see the huge foreign reserves of the country, and the country being in a more stable position, shown than it has been for a while. This is how economic diplomacy should be done, and the president is in this in the forward position to ensure that we close deals, and we ensure that he's focused on his areas of foreign affairs, the 4Ds, as they say: democracy, pushing for democratic values and institutions in Africa, especially in West Africa, with all the coups and everything. Also pushing issues of demography, ensuring the youth policies are put in place. The investments coming in from Japan is a big part of youth-focused foreign policy. And there's also, of course, the diaspora community, which the president has always taken very serious, are bringing a lot of money into Nigeria, over 20 billion naira per year. So this is tremendous opportunities opening up in our country. The last D is development. Development encompasses everything, ensuring that we get the right facilities, we get the right opportunities, and ensure we have the confidence of international investors to come and put their money into the country, creating jobs.
Let me ask you,
and also pushing for United Nations seats, a very key development. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, great. I mean, that's a good news. If the president will be discussing with, because Brazil is a member to some of these, has this opportunity and is ahead of Nigeria in that regard. But let me ask you, how do you summarize President Bola Tinubu's trip to Brazil? What would you say is the one single most important agenda on his trip to Brazil?
One word, Cheryl, if I could use it, it's just agriculture or agri-business. That is so impactful. The presidents of Nigeria and Brazil have this chemistry together. You see them hugging. They're a big part of BRICS. Nigeria has been a partner country. G20, Nigeria seeking interest in that organization, all Brazilian member organizations. So it's important that we see what this chemistry they have together is bringing in for Nigeria. We have the huge agricultural things coming in from Brazil. We have investors, especially in livestock. Brazil is a big part of, if you say, agri in the world. It's one of the biggest, if you say, the farmland of the world. They have tremendous amount of agricultural export. The expertise is what Nigeria needs. We need their investments also in all facets of agriculture. Bringing in tractors, I think 10,000 tractors are coming in to Nigeria for, and other agricultural implements. So it is huge, and because the Nigerian economy, 40% of it is agriculture. A lot of Nigerians are doing very simple farming in their villages, in their towns, and it's a huge part of the inflation issue. So if we have agriculture down, there's a great opportunity to better bring down inflation, provide more employment for Nigerians, and also bring more stability in the country. We have all these issues with the herders, farmer clashes. We have an opportunity to ensure that every sector of that ecosystem is actually well furnished with funds, with expertise, and with machinery.
Let me ask you, when the president was about leaving the country, a lot of Nigerians are not happy. The opposition criticized the president for what they describe as, quote, excessive foreign trips. And they said that the president should cancel some of these trips, and some of these agreements can be sealed without a president having to be out of the country, especially because of the rising insecurity situation back home. Is the president hearing some of this? And what does this mean? That maybe the president is more concerned about looking out than looking in?
I tell you, Shehu, I don't even think he's traveling enough, to be sure. To be honest, I really don't think he's traveling enough. The impact of what his trips have done for Nigeria, for the Nigerian economy, for security issues around the bandits and the insurgents around the north, issues in West Africa, especially with the coups and the instability in the Sahel region, and ensuring that we have this economic confidence. We have Western countries. We have people now coming back to Nigeria for medical tourism. We have diasporas coming in to invest. We have countries around the world that we never really thought of. Japan, India, they're investing seriously in Nigeria. I really don't think he's traveling enough. I would like to see him move around more and ensure we close more deals. It's very important. It's for your own livelihood. It's for our security.
So all of this you're saying, Mr. Oshodi, that this can only be achieved only if the president travels. It cannot be done. What if there was COVID and people cannot travel? Wouldn't there be any...
Well, if there was COVID, I guess we'll adjust to that. But we see the impact. We see what the president is achieving by this travel. It's not just traveling for like a normal summit diplomacy that we've seen in the past. This is economic diplomacy. Is meeting with people on non-traditional countries that would usually don't do business with Nigeria. We're opening up opportunities with Brazil, for goodness sake. Brazil. The economic opportunities within Africa, the African free continental trade agreement is blossoming. We can also see the energy towards Nigeria's pushing in the BRICS and the G20, all to open up avenues and boost our profile. I really wish that we had more, I would say, more impactful diplomacy than we had before President Tinubu coming. I really believe that would have taken us to a different trajectory than what we're experiencing right now.
Mr. Oshodi, tell me, I understand that the president signed an MOU today. What is this MOU about? What does he seek to address or achieve?
Well, it is to expand our agricultural base and to ensure we also have direct flights between Brazil and Nigeria, to ensure there's an open communication within Nigeria and Brazil culturally. It's quite expansive. But the most important aspect of the president, as you probably see with his bold domestic reform, is economy. It's economy. It's how
what aspect of
and technology
agriculture,
can be
Mr.
used to
Oshodi, can you be
improve the
specific? What aspect of the agriculture is contained in that understanding between the two nations?
Well, the most tangible thing right now, Sharon, is the livestock. There's over $2.5 billion from the Brazilian economy, from Brazilian businessmen being invested in Nigeria. They're bringing in their expertise, the tractors coming in the tens of thousands. We also have issues of crop technology. We also have issues of the important aspect of how the technology of how crops are grown to ensure that it's well preserved and brought down to the consumer. This would ensure that number one, investments is coming, employment is also achieved, and also inflation is reduced.
All right.
So
yeah,
agriculture
so just for a moment, apologies
to
cut in. Give me a moment. I'll go on a break and come back. This is going to be huge. I want to know what the timelines are. There was an announcement of $2.5 billion investment in 2024. We are hearing about a $1.1 billion Green Imperative Partnership Agreement that has also been reached. 10,000 tractors, 50,000 pieces of agri equipment. We would like to know in specifics, where would this be sited? When will this project resume? But that's going to be after this break, everyone. Join us again. Thanks so much, everyone, for staying with us. Mr. Demola Oshodi is a President's Senior Special Assistant on Foreign Affairs and Protocol. He's been with the President alongside several other senior officials of government in Brazil. They left Los Angeles, initially from Japan to Los Angeles to Brazil. But our closing moments now with Mr. Oshodi on the business of President Bola Tinubu in Brazil. Can you give us specifics about when these investments, we should be seeing it physically happening in Nigeria? Which of the states are they happening? What is the quantum? What is the level of engagement in terms of return to a Brazil that is making some of these investments? What are the specifics?
Well, the conference is still going on. It's a two-day thing. Sorry, it's a two-day state visit. So we have not, things are not totally concluded and signed off completely. There could be more. But I can tell you right now that the impact of where the agricultural investments, the MOU you referred to, is going to be throughout the value chain of the agricultural sector. From straight from the farms to the processing, all the way to the packaging. So it's going to be scattered around the North, Kebbi, Plateau State, if I can remember, Nasarawa State, and the processing plants in Edo and I think Lagos and other parts of the country where the infrastructure is available. So it is an ongoing thing.
All right.
And it's something that we see that the president's policy has always been there focused on that agricultural attention.
Demola Oshodi, thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. Dr. Demola Oshodi, Senior Special Assistant Foreign Affairs and Protocol to the President. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Not yet the doctor show, not yet the doctor.
I'm giving you one tonight, so you don't have to pay for it.
I was your first. I tell your guests I was your first guest. Remember, I was your first guest on your Politics Today years ago.
Years ago, very much. I remember. Thank you. It's good to see you again.
Yes, nice
Thank
to
you
see
so
you
much. I appreciate it.